Hey, everybody, welcome to the show tonight. I know you guys are as excited as I am about getting started. So, we are going to get things going. Welcome to Advocates for Justice Paralegal School. We provide the tools, you do the work. I'm Coach Neighbors, and I'm excited to be here tonight. We're talking about traffic ticket fraud. So on my YouTube videos, it came to my attention that more people watched the couple of traffic ticket videos that I made, and I had one. I think that package was a prosecutor sanctioned package where I was going after where you are able to go after the prosecutor for misdemeanor charges or whatever. That package was structured for people who are helping paralegals who are helping other people. So it's a little bit, it's like half price at $1,100. So I decided to structure a new 42 USC 1983 traffic ticket lawsuit package, and that's what one of the things that we're going to talk about tonight. When you guys come, if you come here from Facebook, please follow the link that's going across the bottom of the stream here, and click on that link and give StreamYard permission to use your Facebook name. Otherwise, you show as Facebook user, and I have no idea who we're talking to. So it's nice to know who we're talking to, and we can address you by you and not Facebook user. So you guys make sure you do that if you come to the stream from Facebook. Now I'm in the process of structuring the new 42 USC 1983 civil rights lawsuit package. And tonight I'm going to show you the front page of that package, and we're going to talk about the traffic court fraudulent scheme, and we're going to tell you what you didn't know about the traffic court, about traffic tickets. That's what we're going to cover. We're going to tell you what you didn't know about the traffic tickets, and we're going to provide you with the fire that you need. So you guys stay tuned, and you will see the front page of what you could be using to burn down that. Yeah, all right. I'm going to show you the front page of this new weapon, so you can feel the fire that you'll be sticking in their face, because that's what it's going to be. Now, I'm still in the process of structuring this package. I'm going to introduce it to you guys at a half price at $3.99, and I'm not sure how many documents. And right now has like 4, but we're just getting started. And I'm hoping to have it complete, at least have the package complete sometime next week. Now, I may not have the web page built yet. I'm working on that too. And my sister's case is kind of slowing things up a little bit, but that's okay. First things first. So, anybody that's interested in this new package that we're going to be talking about tonight, send me an email to my email account that's connected to my website. And you guys can send me the password to your bank account. Oh, excuse me. That's not what I meant to say. I forgot to take that out. Okay, send me the email. Send me an email to my website, and in the subject title, type traffic bomb, and I'll know exactly what you want. And I'll save your email in a file. And when I get done with structuring the package, you guys will be the first ones that get to use it. And the first 10 people I'm going to be working closely with to see how they respond if they can, so that we can put together what we need to make sure that this package gets done what we need it to do, because that's how we roll up in here. So you'll get your first shot. You will get the shot, and you will see firsthand the people that send their emails in that are interested will get the first shot at the package and the group coaching that comes with it, so we can manage their failure to respond, because I'm pretty sure they're not going to be able to respond to this. And you can see, I'm going to show you the front page, maybe 2 pages or whatever, so you can get an idea what we're talking about, because we ain't playing. Now, I also take a few questions at the end of the session. If no one has questions, then I wrote down a few things that came up during the week from other people using the packages. So we're going to cover that. Uh, One of them is what to do if the attorney fails to show up, and how to object to everything the judge says. Yeah. So yeah, and it's all pretty much self-explanatory. It's all pretty much simple stuff that you guys need to be doing in the first place, and we'll get to that. Tonight, we're going to cover what you did not know about the traffic tickets. And below, we're going to talk about 3 of the 7 fatal flaws in their traffic ticket scheme. Oh, hang on a second here. I'm going to go ahead and do a screen share so you guys can see my blog posting. Okay. Okay. So we're going to screen share here. This is a blog posting that I did a couple of days ago to introduce you guys to this package that we're working on now. And I put the link to this blog posting in the comment section, so you can click on it and take a look at it, and you can read about it. We're only going to cover a few of these, the first 3 or 4, but I have the other ones in here in case you want to look at them. All of these are going to be incorporated in the lawsuit package that we're putting together. So, and these are things that generally attorneys don't discuss when you're doing this. Okay, they don't discuss these kind of things that we're going to be talking about when you're doing this, because they don't want to put anybody in a position to win. Excuse me, to make people go sit the hell down. That's kind of how that goes. Now, when you guys go to look at my blogs, you can scroll all the way down. Here's a link right here to my YouTube channel, where you can click on that link and go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe. And that's the next thing that we want to talk about before we get going. I need you guys to head over to my YouTube channel and click on those annoying ads so that I can get paid for giving you guys this free information. I need you guys to subscribe to the channel, click the bell so that you get notification when it's time to rock and roll, and hit the like button. Everybody should be hitting the like button if you feel I'm bringing value to the table. Okay, there should be all kind of likes up in here. And that's based off the positive comments that I received in all of my other live streams. So I also need you guys to subscribe, click the like button, and make sure you leave a comment, because those comments are priceless. YouTube algorithms use those comments to let the system know that we bringing value to the table every time we come. So you guys make sure you do that. Head over to that YouTube channel and subscribe, hit the like button, do all of those things. And right here is email address to my website. Here's my website email address where you can use if you want to get in line with this package. And who knows, the first 10 people might get a better deal. It's possible. I'm just saying it's possible. Yeah, I love this picture here. Yeah, that girl finna tell her daddy. So the next thing that we want to talk about are the 3. Well, we're going to only talk about 3 of the fatal flaws. So I'm going to, so I'm going to go ahead and stop the screen share, but we'll come back on the screen share because we got some more stuff to share on the screen share. Let's get rolling now. Now, with this new package, the 42 USC 1983 traffic ticket lawsuit package, it will be on sale for $3.99, and it's going to be the bomb. You will be suing all of them. Yeah, so now you don't have to let them run your life. You don't have to let them run your life anymore. You don't have to freak out every time a cop pulls in behind you, and you will learn how to make them pass you up and leave you alone before it's over with. Freaking out when the cops pull in behind you. And you also won't have to freak out when they notice your raggedy car. Okay. I'm not talking about you. Okay. If your car is a little raggedy, you know they notice your car when you come by. You can tell by how their head turn around. That's the same dude that stopped last. Yeah. Trying to put an end to that. We're going to put an end to that. And I know what it's like to be worried and looking over your shoulder when they pull in behind you. So I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because I used to drive a raggedy car too. And I remember one time going through the intersection, four-way red light. I had the red light and I was pumping the brake, trying to get the car to stop. And I went straight through the intersection about maybe 3 to 5 miles an hour. And the only car, I was really lucky. There was only one other car that had the green light that had to wait for me to clear the intersection. And yes, it was a police officer. Yeah, I was very young when this happened, but I still remember it. Yeah, and luckily he was really nice. I think he felt bad for me. I finally got stopped about 50 yards. Yeah, past the stoplight, and he pulled in behind me and took my driver license and ran my stuff. And he said, "Mr. Neighbors, do you have a problem?" I said, "Yeah, I think my brake fluid is leaking or something." And he said, "Well, open this." So I got out and opened the hood. And, oh yeah, it was leaking all right. And he says, "Oh my, you might need to get that fixed." So no, right now I need to get, I need to. So I ran, got to the trunk, opened the trunk, and pulled out my 2-gallon can of brake fluid. Oh yeah, I need to put some more brake fluid in there. He's like, sorry, you need to get this fixed. Yeah, so he didn't even give me a ticket. He was really nice. I think it was my 2-gallon can of brake fluid won him over. Of course, he did follow me to the next light to see if I could stop. And yeah, I didn't have, I still had some brake fluid left. So, that worked out pretty well. But I know how it is to be driving and worried that they're going to pull you over, or if you're driving because you got some tickets or whatever and they haven't taken care of, you don't know what to do with them. Well, now you can find out what to do with them. We're going to teach you how to handle that problem. So let's just kind of get rolling right into the subject matter of the night's situation, because everybody's excited about knowing what you need to know to take care of this traffic ticket issue, because these fools are out of control. Yeah, they are. So, fatal flaws that block the traffic court's jurisdiction. The first one, the first one is when that police officer signs the ticket, the summons for you to appear, the citation, whatever you want to call it. When the police officer signs that citation, that is a violation of the separation clause in the Constitution. When he signs that ticket, it's automatic violation of the separation clause in the Constitution. The separation clause in the Constitution mandates that the branches of the government be separate. Well, the police officer in the executive branch enforcing the laws, and someone from the judicial branch, which would be the prosecutor or judge or somebody, should be the one signing the ticket. But remember, their traffic court RICO scheme fraud is fraud. So there's holes in it, and this is the first hole that you want to use. And when the officer signs that ticket, then the officer is now is performed the illegal act, is in violation of the Constitution, and therefore cannot testify at any trial. The officer has no credibility. Well, you signed that on behalf of a judicial officer of the court. Why didn't you get a judicial officer of the court to sign it before you took it over to the person to have them appear in court? That's a problem. Yeah. Well, the first problem caused the second problem. Okay, because the first problem caused the due process violation, which is a separate problem that we're going to talk about. When the court proceeded with their unlawful court processes and rules, it's a problem, a violation of due process. When the police officer signs a ticket to get you in court because they don't have time to get a judicial officer of the court, that's a violation of your due process. So you see how those two things stick together. Huh? And one of the other things and I love this one, the players in the court all have a conflict of interest because they're all being paid by the same corporation that's attacking you. And I had this situation when I was in private court, which is one of the ways I learned all of this stuff. We'll get to that in a second. So my situation was I told the private court judge, look, there's a conflict of interest here. You'd have to dismiss this, right? Well, yes, Mr. Nason, what's the conflict? Well, sir, you're getting paid by the city. The police officer's getting paid by the city. The prosecutor's getting paid by the city. And the only people that's not getting paid by the city is myself and all these other people that are sitting out here in the audience waiting to come up here and get the shaft. Yeah, Judge was pissed. That's funny. White people get mad, man. Their neck get red. You can tell he was pissed. He was ready to shoot me. Okay, there's no shooting in court. Relax. But he was grumpy, and at the end of the day, he tried to get me to plead. And I told him, excuse me, I'm going to waive the benefit of a plea today, and I'm not here contract with anybody. And yeah, I gave them a hard time. So then they told me, well, we just need you to, we just need you to plead not guilty so we can move forward. Well, to plead not guilty or to make any kind of a plea would be granting the court with jurisdiction on the Black Law Dictionary, right? Well, right? Well, okay, so we're not doing that. That's a no. And I left out, and yeah, they told me, you need to come back here for your court date, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay, I'll be back, but it'll be before the court date. And yeah, so I filed my lawsuit against them, and then I sued the judge. And once you sue the judge in state court, then you need to move your stuff over to federal court. And that's what we're going to talk about when we get over to my sister's stuff. So I sued the judge in state court, and obviously none of his state court buddies, I'm not going to let any of them throw me under the bus. They're going to do better than that. So I moved the case over to federal court and without paying fees. And they had to take it because there's no other judge in state court that could hear it. Once you go up again, once you jam the judge up, then that opens the door for you to move your case, and they can't send it back or give you a hard time about it. So one of the things that I'm going to do here, I want you guys to Google your court clerk's manual and take a look at it. We're going to look at the court clerk's manual here for the state of Kansas and see what it has to show. Now, let me find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. We're going to scroll up to the top here and take a look at a few things, and then we're going to skip a bunch of stuff and get down to the jurisdiction issue. So this is the court clerk's manual for the state of Kansas. And I've got some highlighted areas here where we want to stop and take a look at. So you can see right here, the municipal judge, and this talks about a chief judge. The municipal judge is the chief judge of the municipal court. The term, selected, appointment, municipal judge is determined by state law and municipal ordinance. State law and municipal ordinance. They mean municipal ordinance. Okay, that's what they mean. And applicable state and laws here. And you can see the municipal judge must be a citizen of the United States, a graduate of high school or secondary school, or equivalent thereof. In cities or first class, the municipal judge must be an attorney admitted to practice law. In other states, the judge must be either an attorney or, oh, wait, it doesn't say anything here about the judge being a judge. It does not say anything about the judge being a judge. So state court judge is not a judge. He's an attorney that's appointed. And they have non-lawyer municipal judge training. So they even have people that's not a lawyer being a municipal judge. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys. And the powers and duties of municipal judges are set forth in fairly concise fashion. Oh, wait. But they're saying earlier that the ordinance had to do with municipal. But wait, now they're using a statute, a state statute for the municipal. Oh, wait, the municipal court is not in the same place as state court. Has anybody ever wondered why? Does anybody ever wonder why municipal court is not in the same building as a state court? Because it's fake. And we're going to talk about that down here in a minute. And these are some of the duties the court shall administer oath and enforce all orders and rules and judgments made by a municipal judge, and may fine or imprison, contempt, or commit in court or for failure to obey the process. The municipal judge shall have the power to hear, determine all cases. Interesting. This is interesting. When we get to the jurisdiction part, we're going to see how much power the municipal judge has. Just read, when you take the time and read through this, what they're supposed to be doing, you will be shocked. And if the clerk's giving you a hard time about filing your stuff, all you need to do is take your tablet in there and pull up the clerk's manual and show them what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, because it's all written right in here. So the governing body of the city provides for the office of the clerk, or the municipal court clerk. The clerk shall be appointed by the municipal court. If the city does not have a clerk, the municipal judge must serve as the clerk. Okay, that's getting kind of scary. And we ain't going to worry about the prosecutor. We're going to skip on down to the good part. We're going to pass up the duties and all of that. Areas of liability, because that's BS. Actually, all of this is BS, but we want to get to the specific BS. In this program, we are attacking the jurisdiction, period. That's it. From the front, from the back, from the side, from the middle. Jurisdiction. That's it. So we're going to move to the jurisdiction part here and learn about municipal courts' lack of jurisdiction. Oh, excuse me. Did I say lack of jurisdiction? Yeah, this is what we want to look at. So a municipal court can only hear cases involving alleged violations of municipal ordinance illegally enacted by the governing body of the city, and the violation must occur in the city. The ordinance must be the same or quite similar to the state criminal statute. Oh, so they're connecting ordinances to statutes. So you can look up what an ordinance is. If you don't know, it's not a law, it's a rule. It's a city rule, a policy. So they're comparing their ordinances to the statutes. But here now we're getting to the stinking stuff here. We're getting to the stink. The municipal court in Kansas has no civil jurisdiction. That is, municipal court has no power to decide disputes between private parties involving contracts, property rights, damage actions, divorces, child custodies, or cases involving juveniles, except traffic cases, section 3.06. Municipal courts have no jurisdiction over violations of state statutes. So, wait, don't leave this out. A municipal judge can now perform marriage ceremonies according to the state statutes. So, municipal court has no jurisdiction over state statutes. So, if municipal court don't have jurisdiction over state statutes, why do they keep lining their statute with their ordinance with the statute to make you believe that the ordinance and the statute are both a law? And the fact is, the statute is not a law either, because it does not contain the three elements necessary to be considered a valid law according to your state constitution. According to the state constitution, to be a valid law, there must be an enacting clause, there must be a title, and there must be a body. And without all three of those, you got poo-poo for the doo-doo. You got crap for the program. So let's just finish this up. The decisions of a municipal court in court cases, whether the accused is guilty or not, does not determine who must pay the damages. The municipal court determines only a question of guilt. How could they do a question of guilt when they don't have judicial authority? A corporation cannot give itself judicial authority. This is ridiculous, but they're getting away with it all day long because people don't know. The municipal court determines only a question of guilt. That is, the court decides if the accused party was guilty of violating the city ordinance. If another vehicle is involved in the traffic accident, the court does not determine that since the person before the court is guilty. And that person therefore liable for damages to the vehicle of the other party. In civil court that would be issue. However, municipal court may order restitution as part of the sentencing. And then they show the Kansas statute, which they're saying gives them the legal authority to order restitution. It's ridiculous. If you read this, you will see that municipal court has no jurisdiction to do any other stuff that they're doing. Oh, here it is right here, right in their own manual. Lack of jurisdiction. If the court determines there is no jurisdiction for any of the reasons set forth above, the case must be dismissed. The judge cannot make a finding of guilty or not guilty. A municipal judge who determines guilty or innocence when the court lacks jurisdiction exposes him or herself to a lawsuit. There you go. It can't be more clear. So what I did to start in my beginning journey of learning this traffic stuff was I sued the traffic court judge, and then I moved the case over to federal court because I'm sure the other judges were going to be fair with me, right? And I had their butts tied up in federal court for a year and a few months. And what I did, so what they're going to do is they're going to ignore you. Hey, Ralph, welcome. So you're going to have to be ready to fight. You're going to have to be willing to go the distance because they're used to people running out of time and money because you got to get to work. You got to get dinner. You got to get to the store. You got to get the kids over. You got to do all this stuff. Yeah, it's by design, right? So they're used to people running. All they got to do is stall. Well, that's what we're doing too. Okay, we're not stalling. We're standing in court. We're standing in the ring while we punch them in the face. That's how we do it. We stay in the ring while we punch them in the face. So in this program, you're going to be getting in their face. And the court here, as you can see, has no jurisdiction. The municipal court don't have jurisdiction to be doing this. They don't have jurisdiction to be victim people in eviction court. No, but they get away with it because people don't know. Well, this new package that I'm working on is going to address all of these things plus some other stuff. Ralph says he got a, yeah, those red light tickets are ridiculous, Ralph, because you have a constitutional right to face the person accusing you. So I mean, we already pointed out in this presentation tonight that when the police officer signs a ticket, it's a violation of the separation clause of the Constitution. So that red light ticket is even more ridiculous. This new package that I'm putting together addresses all of this stuff. It addresses the issue of them violating the Administrative Procedures Act of 1946. I talk about that all the time because that is so powerful, and they do not want to have to deal with that. And that's how you do that thing there. So we're going to close that up. And we're going to stop the screen share. Okay, now we're back. So the next thing I want to do is I want to show you guys the front page. So we're going to go back to the screen share. I'm making you guys dizzy tonight. I want to show you the front page of the bomb. Yeah, this is the bomb. Now, remember how my stuff rolls. Hey, Missy, welcome to the show tonight. That's Luis. I mean, LS. So here, you guys, this is what we're going to the table with. Now, I love this because even I have this structured for foreclosure defense, and I'm structuring it right now for a traffic ticket problem. And I love this because now you are going into court to address what they did to you. You're going to address them violating your rights. Because at the end of the day, if you don't get that right, then you got shit for the program. I'm just saying. You got crap for the program if they're not going to be fair. So, and this is the reason why I don't have to hear all of the things that people want to tell me all the time about their unique situation and all of that, because we're not going to be using none of that stuff. We're going to be going after them violating your right to due process and a whole bunch of other stuff. As you can see right in here, a whole bunch of other stuff. We're going after them for them violating you. And you, with this package, will be able to use their court docket sheet to verify as your evidence, because docket sheet's going to show they didn't respond by counter affidavit to none of your stuff. The docket sheet's going to show. Now, this works great when you have your lawsuit filed against the judge, and then the judge is, trying to act stupid or whatever. So this is going to be an opportunity for people to go after them without having to understand all that banking nonsense and all of those on all that banking fraud. This breaks it down to what went down in court. That's what this is about. And you guys can see here what we're demanding. So this claim is for 20 million, and remember the red font you replace with your information or whatever you want to put in there. And we're going in for $20 million to revoke the state court judge's license to practice law, to be granted the prosecutor's assets, and to be granted judgment in full to be paid collectively by the defendants. The plaintiff also demands to be in control of the state court's corporate charter and to have all of the records of the alleged traffic infraction, arrest, or whatever removed from the record, and including any jail time. Also, the plaintiff demands to the court to order the police officers to not have contact with the plaintiff without a police corporate supervisor present. And if the plaintiff is involved in a traffic stop in the future, he or she demands the court to order the police corporate supervisor to be present before contact, unless there's blood on you. And that's what I told them when I was in federal court with my two $10 seatbelt tickets. I dragged it out so long. Actually, what I did was they kept acting stupid. So I filed a restraining order to block the police department from continuing to issue citations until they figured out how to do it within the Constitution. And they still thought I was playing. So I filed the restraining order to block the traffic court judge from making determinations until they figure out how to make that process be in line with the Constitution. And they still dragged their feet. So the next thing I did was I figured out that the state gets quite a bit of money from the federal government, but they don't qualify for that money if they're screwing over and violating the state citizens' rights. So I filed a restraining order to block the state of Kansas from getting federal funding until they figured out, that got some attention. And a year and a few months later, I got a call from the judge's deputy that they're having a meeting and they wanted me to attend the meeting. And I was like, I haven't heard from anybody in months. I didn't know there was a meeting. And they said, yeah, well, the judge came in and started talking. So obviously I was on speakerphone and, he wanted to know if we had a meeting and we had the city attorney there and all. They're like, hey, Mr. Neighbors, okay, sorry. Anyway, so I told him, I said, well, you guys did not inform me of any meeting today, and I'm a little busy right now, but I could call back in about maybe 15 and 20 minutes. And the judge said, oh, that'll be great, Mr. Davis. He calls me, okay, great, thanks. I hung up the phone, and my wife was like, what? I'm kind of busy right now, honey. Busy doing what? I'm putting the ass on ice. Said, I'm the one running this show. I'll call him back when I'm ready to talk. So I waited about 15 to 20 minutes and I called him back and the judge said, Mr. Neighbors, what is it going to take to get rid of this? And I responded, so I'm assuming the 5.5 million is off the table. Yeah, so then I laid out what I wanted. I wanted them to make my lawsuit moot because I didn't want it dismissed because I didn't think the police department would follow any of the rules that the judge agreed to. And that's probably why we're here now. So, and I also told them that I lived in this town for 42 years. I've never been disrespected by anybody from the sheriff department. So if there's a problem, they can send somebody from the sheriff department to come talk to me unless there's blood. Yeah, my wife's eyes got really good. I said that. Okay, chill. Okay, I'm running this show today. So here we go. I got the chalk and I'm the coach. And then I also told them a couple of other things. And pretty much that's what happened? They did that. They dismissed it. The last time I got stopped, it was before I had my fancy passport. They ran my name. They came back and they told me that your license came back suspended. And I explained to them that it had been taken care of, but they're dragging their feet because they don't like me. And he told me, Mr. Neighbors, have a nice day. If you can switch with your wife and let her drive, I'm just going to let you guys go home. And that was a good enough deal for me. I had my 2 grandkids in the car, was not ready to go to jail that night and have 15 police cars show up because that's how many they would send to get me, even though I'm not a violent person. I would be telling them, dude, we don't need to call anybody else. Give me the handcuffs. I'll put it on myself. I'll see you guys in court later because I'm not getting shot. So you can see here, so we're going into this the issue of the corporation giving itself judicial authority. So we're gonna just go on down, and then then here we talk about the fatal flaws that block the traffic court jurisdiction. We talked about all 7 of the flaws. We only talked about a couple of them in the video, but they're all in the lawsuit package. So you can see that that package is coming out pretty stinking nice. Oh yeah, so we're going after them for all of those things, normal things, and then deprivation of rights under the color law, the Tucker's Act. Now, the Tucker's Act, you guys should look up. All of you guys that are doing your own stuff, you should look up the Tucker's Act, and you need to add it in your lawsuit anytime you make one. So the Tucker's Act, what the Tucker's Act does is is it it cancels out their thought of qualified immunity. The Tucker's Act is a federal law that was put on the books to jam up the government if they violate people's rights. So they don't have a qualified immunity like they used to say they have. The Tucker's Act took care of that. So the state can't step on people's constitutional rights and get away with it. And when you throw the Tucker's Act in there, that nullifies their qualified immunity BS that they think they have. And they do have qualified immunity, but they have to qualify for it. That's why it's called qualified immunity. And you qualify for it by not violating the law or the Constitution. When you violate the law and the Constitution, you don't qualify for immunity because you violated the law. If and basically their whole process is in violation of the Constitution, so they don't have no immunity at all. And the Tucker's Act takes care of that. And Administrative Procedures Act of 1946 is something that I talk about quite a bit. That federal law mandates that corporations must have their policies and procedures in line with the Constitution, and they don't. Now, you can't get money for administrative crap, but you can sue them and force them and have the administrative court force them to change their policies. Or in what I do is sue them for the corporate charter. If you sue for control of the corporate charter, then you will have a seat on the board of directors. Yeah, we're getting big time now, right? If you have a seat on the board of directors, now you would have a say in the corporate's policies and procedures, and you can make sure they're not doing this to other people. Or maybe you can fire the attorney. Yeah, that caused all this mess when you get on the anyway, yeah, opens up the doors. That's what we do around here. We don't roll with limitations up in here. Now, I want to show you guys my new property tax, eliminating property tax package website page. We've been doing a lot of work making things look really nice. So any of you guys that are facing this property tax issue should go and check this out because this is the bomb. And here's a copy of the lawsuit package for the eliminating property tax. And it gives you an idea here what you're going after them for. And here, the 5.5 mil, I put that on everything like Frank's hot wing sauce. Put that shit on everything. And these are some of my Google reviews. Now, I don't think I posted the new ones in here. Yeah, I haven't posted. I've got new ones. I haven't posted the new ones in here, but they are they will be on my website next week. So you guys will see the new Google reviews on my website next week. Now we're going to stop the screen share. Maybe. And get on in the right place. Okay. So now we're back. Now I want to give you guys a quick update on my sister's case, and we're going to start using this. I put together a notice of removal. Now we have a notice of removal in all of the packages, but we haven't been using it the right way. The way you're supposed to, and what I want you guys to do is Google for your state, remove a state case to federal court. Move a state case to federal court. How to move a state case to federal court. Google that, and you'll see that the statute that you use is very easy. You copy and paste the statute in your document that you are using to remove your case to state court. You paste the statute in there, and you attach a copy of the lawsuit against the judge, and they also require the original. So basically, what you're going to learn how to do is move the attorneys for state foreclosure case over to federal court. That's what we've done. And we did that because even though we got the case terminated and termination is the final judgment, they're still doing some shady stuff trying with their fraudulent sale order. So they just think that they're going to continue, and we're just going to sit back and take it. So they tried to continue, and we filed our notice of removal. And what you do is you file it in federal court first, and then you take the file stamp copy of that with all the stuff connected to it, and file it in and take it down to state court. After you get it filed in federal court, you get your notice of removal file stamped in federal court, then you take it over to state court and shove it in their face. And what I do is ask them to send the rest of your file over to federal court. Once you get that document file stamped and get your removal in federal court, the state court's done. They have no jurisdiction to continue. And I'm in the process of putting together a judicial notice, which is what I would suggest that you use. You use a judicial notice to let the court know of administrative facts that anybody can check. So when you do it this way, you're not asking the court for anything, and the other side don't get an opportunity to object or get in the way or be stupid, because all you're doing is letting them know that this notice of removal has been filed in federal court, and state court no longer has judicial authority to be doing anything, and everything that state court decided on is done. Toast. Burnt toast. What's up, Troy? I don't, because does that cancel their argument? I don't know what you mean. Do you mean does that cancel them coming after you for the money? I think it's going to be a problem for them, because if they can't prevail, then you're going to have control of their corporate charter, and you can do whatever you want. You can dissolve it. You can dissolve it. Well, you may not be able to dissolve it. I don't know how many board members are on the board of directors. Okay. That's the way that goes. The board of directors, if you're in charge of corporate charter, then you get to be on the board of directors, and then you have a say in what they do, whatever. So that's all I know. But I don't think anybody's going to let you get to that point. And that's what we're doing. The way we roll here, we don't put our stuff together and wait around for a stinking judge to rule and help you. Okay, because if you haven't figured that it's not going to work, then you're in the wrong place. You're wasting your time. Everybody's figured that's not working, and that's why we're doing what we're doing now. We're doing something different. One of the other things I wanted to talk about here in the end, does anybody have any more questions? Somebody else had a question. If anybody has any questions, you can throw them on the table now. Hello, Miss Lori. You came in just in time for questions. So one of the things I want to talk about is we had a member of the group who said the judge failed to show up, and the attorney failed to show up, and the judge asked the member, told the member to tell him whatever, and so the member started talking about the banking fraud, and now this person is not in the program, hasn't invested in one of my packages yet, and I'm not sure what they're waiting for because I have one for $150 that you can use to get control of the situation. But anyway, and so this member will let the judge know about all of this banking stuff and all of that stuff, and then the judge told him that they're going to have to, he'll make a decision or whatever. Well, of course, the judge didn't want to tell him right then that he's going to grant the order to evict her and have her acting up in court and being all mad. He's going to wait till she goes home, and then he'll make his little ruling, and then they'll mail her a copy of it, and then they'll be done. They won't have to face it. And now her 10 days starts. And when you get yourself into a position where the 10 days starts, you're going to be in trouble, because anything you file after that, they're going to throw in a basket on the table and leave it on the table until they get you out, the eviction process in your face. Yolanda watches, you have to foreclose your package, watch the videos, and trying to figure out which form goes first. Well, we tell you in the videos which form to use first. I'm pretty sure we covered that, Yolanda. If you have a question, you can be more specific. I can help you as far as which form goes first. There's 20 questions that I have to ask before I can even answer that. Is it judicial, non-judicial? Or are you still in the house or are you out of the house? It's good to watch the video several times and to take notes. In the video, we tell you what needs to go first. And to give you an idea what needs to be done first, we're finding the state court process need to be smashed first before you file your federal. And I say that, and even with that said, strategically, it depends on your situation. Okay. So in reality, you need to smash the state court first, because what we're finding, people who don't take the time to smash the state court, they usually end up struggling later, because even while you're in federal court, they're just stalling, giving the state court a chance to continue doing what they're doing, what they do. Well, good, you're still in the house. Okay, so Yolanda, you need to watch you need to search for the instructional video playlist on my YouTube channel. And when you find the instructional video playlist, then you need to look in that list to find the video title that matches the title of your lawsuit. For instance, if you have judicial, then you're going to need the judicial wrongful foreclosure lawsuit / breach of contract lawsuit or whatever, blah, blah, blah. That's how you do that. The instructional video is totally different than all of the other videos, even though the other videos have instructions and we talk about some of the same stuff. The difference is, in the instructional video, I open up the documents and I show you the front page or sometimes the second page of the documents, and I talk about the things that you need to understand when you're getting ready to file the document and when all of that stuff. So that's why it's important to watch the instructional video. Then you have to search for the instructional video playlist, and then find the title for the instructional video title for the lawsuit package that you have. And the other thing is update to the jurisdiction challenge. That and the jurisdiction playlist, those are the places you should start if you're new, because everything that we do here is focused on addressing the jurisdiction issue, the lack of jurisdiction issue, and addressing the violation of your rights in court. So yeah, you'll have to look for the instructional video playlist, because I put all of the instructional videos for all the lawsuit packages that I have posted in that playlist to make it easy for people to go find them, because I didn't have the time to do all of the answers and all these little questions and stuff. So I put that together. And so then when people go watch the playlist, when they ask me questions that let me know that they watched that they watched the playlist, then I can help you more. Otherwise, hon, it would take me forever. It would take me, and then we would be bouncing all around because there's all these other things that need to be considered before, So when you watch the playlist and you figure out what we're doing and what the thing is, if you have questions, then they're more specific, and then I can answer those like right in a second or a couple of minutes or whatever, and and then we can move forward. So that's the way that I use the YouTube channel to provide the information that you guys need. If you're doing this on your own, I provide free information in the YouTube channel for you guys to go and get the information and to use. I also provide the free information for people to educate themselves. But if you don't have the skills or the time to put this stuff on paper and stick it in their face, then you need to head over to my over to my website and get what you need. winincourtnow.com. That's where the fire is parked. So it's not about Troy. It's not about canceling their argument. I don't know. You would have to ask them if they cancel out their argument, because I'm thinking, if you're suing me for my corporate charter and I'm screwing you over and you're sticking it right back in my face and you're demanding my corporate charter, I don't think there's going to be any arguing. I don't I don't know. So I guess you're going to figure out if you're trumping them when you sue them for their corporate charter, if you're trumping their argument that you owed them money. I don't know. But at the end of the day, you're not only suing them for the corporate charter, you're suing them for the judge's license to practice law, the attorney's assets. My sister sued the attorney for his home and served his wife, since his wife was on the deed. Then she served them both at their home, and she sued them for $23 million. And then they terminated the case. And then my sister's really nice. So since they terminated the case, she was good. She went and sat down. And 6 or 8 months later, they're back in her face with this fake sale order trying to sell her house. So, and now I get to finish them off. And yet we're having a lot of fun. So you're going to keep your questions short, Lori, because I don't have that much time. So if you can make your question shorter and make it just one question at a time, then maybe I can help you. So what we're doing right now is we are moving the case from state court over to federal court. We're moving their foreclosure case. Now, my sister still has her lawsuit filed in federal court because when they brought this crap up again, she filed another lawsuit. So she still has, state court. She has her lawsuit still filed in state court, but we moved their state court case over to federal court. And there's a bunch of reasons why you can do that. And all of those reasons are in the jurisdictional affidavit. Every one of those points in that document is a reason to move it over to federal court. But the reason we use to keep it simple is the fact that we're suing the state court judge. So if you're suing the state court judge, no other state court judges are going to be fair. I don't think. You can leave your stuff over there with them if you want to, but no, we're moving to federal court. And it's real easy. It's real easy. Now, you're going to have to stay in federal court. One person talked to me and said they were sending her stuff back and blah, blah, blah. People, anytime the judge says something, you should be objecting. Anytime the attorney says something, you should be objecting. Okay, I'm just saying. You should be objecting anytime. And anytime the judge is ignoring you or not or going against what they're supposed to be doing, then you need to object. And then you need to file reconsideration. And then you need to sue the judge. And then you need to recuse the judge, open the case back up. And now their vessel is floating around in admiralty jurisdiction without a motor. That's pretty much it. That's how you want it. Once you get that accomplished, then you can move your stuff. Oh, you can get over in federal court, get your stuff filed. And who knows? They may not be able to respond to you because they don't have a judge. And they're floating around out there. And yeah. Whenever the judge makes a ruling, you always want to object, move for reconsideration, sue the judge, and then recuse him. You should always do that every time a judge rules against you. When the judge rules, most people go sit down. Oh, no. No, it ain't over until you stop. Think about it. It's not over till you stop. Okay, thank you, Lori. I like this question better. If you have the removal to federal court docket stamped, then yes, once you do that, once you have your removal stamped by in federal court, then you should attach a file stamp. What I would do is I would place a file stamp copy of it in the public record and get it stamped that it's placed on the public record before you take it over to them fools. Because if it's on the public record, it's a lot more complicated for them to do stuff. That's what I would do. And then you want to take it over. What I would do is I would send it to them and make them sign for it. I would also write on the top of it in black marker, kind of big and messy, because they federal court don't like getting messy, and you want to be a pain in their butt, so they don't want your stuff in there. I would write on top of your removal document. This one is a chamber copy, and then send it to the judge and make the judge sign for it. See, you make them sign for it. Now they can't play stupid. Make them sign for it. Nah, I mean, you can do whatever you want, Ralph, but I don't do their conventional stuff. That's not going to help you do anything. What's going to help you is when you sue the judge and you add the judge to the lawsuit and you sue the judge and recuse the judge. Okay, now the judge's going to have to hire an attorney, and now the case is jammed up. And yeah, and now you're still in control. That's what we're doing. I don't file habeas corpus against the judge. I'm not filing none of their paperwork against the judge, because anything you file like that, they're gonna have to rule on. So I ain't even going. I'd rather cut to the chase. We learn how to cut to the chase up in here. So we're just gonna go ahead and sue them and stop playing. So that's how we do that. Ralph says, how much is my traffic package? Well, generally, Ralph, I don't discuss that because if you don't see what you're getting, then you have trouble with the value thingy. But in this case, it's not ready yet. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm going to list it half price at $3.99. And if you're interested in it, you can shoot me an email. And in the email, you need to put in it, I don't know. I said something at the beginning of the video, what to put in the email at the beginning of the live stream. So you might need to check that because that's what I got in my notes. And when I see that, traffic bomb, that's what I put in there. Put in the title heading, traffic bomb, and then I'll save you to the file of the people. Now, the first 10 people may even get a special deal. I want to make sure that I'm working close with the first 10 people to see how they try to respond, if they can respond. And when I say they, I'm talking about the attorneys. So, and I should have the package done next week sometime. These fools messing with my sister has slowed down my program a little bit. You know, I got priorities. So that's the way that's going to roll. The other thing is, you guys need to remember, excuse me, the goal in my program is to attack their process, not to argue the crap that they're saying is the ding. Yolanda, the paralegal course, yes, I have. Actually, Yolanda, it's actually foreclosure offense course. That's what I changed the name, the foreclosure offense, because we're not on defense and none of my stuff. We're on offense. And yes, I have both courses. I have an online course for judicial foreclosure, and I have an online course for non-judicial foreclosure. And in both courses, I've added the new lawsuit package that I used to stop my sister's judicial foreclosure. And I added it to the non-judicial so that they would be able to control the eviction process, because that's what you have to worry about in non-judicial. In the judicial foreclosure, you would be able to use it also to stop the court process while you're before you file your stuff in federal court. So that package that I added is called the eviction stopper on my website. Is the first name. The first half of the title of my YouTube stuff is just for YouTube to show my stuff. The second half of the title is what you need to really pay attention to. So the eviction stopper is the first half. The second half is jurisdiction challenge / lawsuit with an affidavit. So that package allows you to sue the judge at the gate. You could be served their service in the morning, serve their lawsuit in the morning, and then the next day you can take that package that I'm just talking about and file it and sue the judge with before you have any hearings, before anything, because you're going after the judge for unrelated stuff. And if the judge don't like it, they can get the hell out the back door while the getting is good. And that's usually what happens, because it's just too much liability and heat in that package. So that's how that works. So to help you out, Yolanda, the first thing that you have to do if you're in a judicial foreclosure, you have to take control of the case. And depending on your situation, if you're about to get evicted or pushed out the back door, then you don't have time to play. But what you need to do is we add the attorney as the number one defendant, because the attorney is the only one that signed that judicial foreclosure petition or complaint that they served on you. If you check, the lender is nowhere to be found. No signatures from the lender. Only the attorney is the person that signed. So in my program, you will add the attorney as number one defendant. And depending on what your situation is, if you are in dire straits or running that to the end of the road, then you want to add the judge too. And yeah, so now you're creating a problem for them, because the attorney can't represent themselves. They can't litigate a case they're party to, and they can't represent their law firm pro se. And that's a really big problem, because at the end of the day, the judge is going to have to let them represent the law firm pro se, ignore all of those rules, because no other attorneys will help them. No other attorneys will help them when they find out that you're suing them for illegally foreclosing, acting as a third-party debt collector. And the reason that the other attorneys won't help them is because the other attorneys are doing the same shit. That's why. And if they got involved, they'd be in the same place they are. Getting sued, they'd be over on the suit in the defendant section. So in my program, you're going to learn how to use the loopholes to jam them up and keep their butts backed up against the wall until they decide they want to go sit the hell down, leave you alone, because you ain't going to win. Well, I used to say that, but then we got the judge to terminate my sister's case, and we got several other people who had the judge recused himself. And most of the time, the attorney just go sit down. But we're finding that they come back after 6 or 8 months and try to get in your face. So what we're going to be doing is moving the case over to federal court. And then once you get their foreclosure moved over to federal court, they're going to be in trouble because state court law don't roll in federal court. And you have federal case law on all of your stuff. And now you're going to be jamming them up and forcing them to hire federal attorneys because state attorneys don't play in federal court. Yeah. You see how that goes. It throws a wrench in all of their stuff. And that's how we do it here. Yep, sitting down is a win. Thank you, Kerry Jackson. You're absolutely right. When they go sit down, that's a win. I just a little tricky about using that word, but you're absolutely right. And we're getting more punches in the face and getting more people to go sit the hell down. So we can call it a win. So, Lori, I can't tell you everything. If they don't respect you, then that's because you probably done something wrong or whatever. I don't know, but I don't have an answer for everything for you. Okay, I put the documents together, and my documents should win hands down because the facts are fire, but it's not for their fraud and the process and all of the crap that they make people believe that you can't do this and you can't do that, and they make you believe a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, that's the problem. So I don't know what to tell you to make them, process serve your documents. I've never had that problem. I hire process servers over the internet and just pay them in their PayPal and email and fax over or email the stuff to them, and they go take care of it. So I don't know what to tell you on that. And you're on your own on that one, huh? Good luck. So that's all the value I got to share with you guys tonight. I want to appreciate the opportunity to share your time, and I hope I brought something to the table. You guys that are interested in the package to jam up the traffic tickets, send me an email so you can get on the list, and I will let you guys know when it's done so that everybody will be able to have to check it out. And thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video.